Harper Business and HarperAudio present The First, the Few, the Only. How Women of Color Can Redefine Power in Corporate America by Deepa Purushothaman. This is the author. Dedication. For Ella, I hope you grow up in a world where you feel strongly you belong, as this is one of our most fundamental needs. I want you to not grow into the system around you, but instead to stand freely until you understand it and can use your power to determine where and how you want to root. To the women of color who suffer in jobs and tasks outside the corporate system, your stories are important, and your struggles often run deeper than the stories shared in this book. To the women who are climbing in corporate now, power resides in each of you. Sometimes you just need to be reminded it is there. Research and stories in The First, the Few, the Only. All of the stories in this book speak to real-life issues and circumstances faced by women of color in corporate spaces. Some contributors shared their stories and wanted to use their real names. Some shared their stories but wanted to mask their identities. In these cases, I've created pseudonyms and changed details of their stories that might identify them to protect their identities. Finally, some of the stories in this book are a composite based on a number of contributors sharing similar narratives. For the composite stories, any resemblance to any real person with similar names and/or circumstances is purely coincidental. Introduction. It was late September 2009, and I was sitting with my friend Walter from graduate school. We usually met in New York a few times a year to share our successes and our career hiccups. The bartender had just poured her champagne into 2 fluted glasses, and Walter raised his, saying, "Congratulations to both of us." In the last 6 months, we'd both made partner in our respective firms, him at his law firm and me at a global professional services firm. It was an exciting time, full of possibility, and I was looking forward to celebrating and letting my shoulders down. In many ways, Walter had been my biggest cheerleader. I often called him when I was stuck or wanted to celebrate big wins, and I always felt energized after our get-togethers. He seemed to always know what to say to perk me up and to build my confidence. As we got to our second glasses and our meals came, he stopped me. I was far into a story talking about office politics I was navigating and the pressure I felt as a new partner, when he said, "Deepa, seriously, you have nothing to worry about. You are set. You're golden. You are going to move fast in the partnership." I stared at him, fork in midair, confused. "What do you mean?" I asked. He laughed and took a sip of champagne. "You are a twofer. You have nothing to worry about. I, on the other hand, as a white man, am going to have to work hard to earn what comes next. You're going to skate ahead because you check so many boxes. Men like me, we're losing opportunities. But people like you can ride this wave." I could feel the joy draining from my body. At the time, I didn't even know how to articulate what I was feeling. I finished my meal in record time, and I never met Walter with the same enthusiasm or sense of safety again. In just a few words, he had identified my knot of insecurities around whether I was good enough and whether others around me questioned my worth and my skills. In just a few words, he had uncovered the confusion I felt about being a woman of color at work. That incident is one of many similar situations I encountered in my time within the corporate world. It was common to feel high and then low in the same moment. Something amazing would happen, and then in the blink of an eye, someone would say something ignorant. I'd feel the impulse to correct their words and their reality, while at the same time questioning my own. I'm not alone in my experiences. Like me, many women of color I've met have the scars from climbing the corporate ladder. We often question our reality. Did that really just happen? Do they realize what they just said? Oh, they weren't expecting me to show up. On top of that, we don't have enough friends we can turn to because so many of us are the first, part of the few, or the only, unique in the rooms we enter and in the places we stand as women of color at work. The first, the few, the only is a phrase I use to describe women of color in the business world. Some of us were the first women of color in our families to go to college. We're sometimes the first to work outside.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?